Hey everybody, welcome to my cool behind the scenes for Louse Onus. Here we have the scene. As you can see, it's like a little Neverhood type moat. Underneath the world here we have the scale block and the character broken up into individual parts that I modeled. Sorry, I'm like doing it live and it feels weird. Here we have the big, huge evil bug. These arms were sculpted. The mesh looks a bit funny because it's done using the dynamo. What's it called? Sculpting workspace. Dyn topper. That basically just makes it so it generates more mesh when you sculpt. And then up here we have the bigger version, because originally I made it to be this size, and then I put it up here and it's a bit small. So here we have the bigger version. I thought I remeshed that. Okay. So on the path, I don't know how much of this was actually visible in the actual animation. But if you look here, it sort of like tapers to darkness, and I did that using my old like planes of gradually lowering opacity, black planes. Which looks good. It like fits well with the black open area. The lighting was done with a few of these umbrella lights. I downloaded an add-on that basically just gives me like better lighting lights. Sorry. And it's pretty good, except I think they're like to scale, where this set is, I don't know, like 5, no, that's way more than 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 meters. Whereas these lights are like made to light realistically sized things. So if this was like an actual clay sized scene, they would not need to have 1,500 watts. Also in the scene lighting is a HDRI of just like a nice little sort of sunset area, which makes it look nice. HDRI is very nice. So here we have the character, spawns in. Let's have a look at that animation. As you can see, a lot of individual frames for the claymation effect. No tweening, or at least not much tweening. I think at parts I tweened some of the less needed hands, animated things. This is so bad. I should just. It's fine. We're gonna push through. There's new horizons. Things are gonna be weird. Things are gonna be awkward, and that's all right. So the little buglets, as you can see here, that's just very, very simple subdivided cube with skin. I just created a plane, deleted one of the vertices, and then skinned it. Same for that. Let's have a look at some of the animating here. like without the camera movements, as you can see, it's all pretty like straight ahead. So it looks fine when it's not like whipping around. But I think like this part in particular, I just wanted it to be like a bit more dynamic, because part of the reason for that is I was animating over the course of, a week. So I would like forget what I was doing, do something different, be like, this scene looks the exact same. Like I'm bored of looking at it because I've just been animating from the same perspective for an extended period of time. So if I like had the camera locked down, this would have looked better, probably. But I also just wanted a more dynamic camera in general, because I was thinking, this is like a little action scene. I want to get better at doing action. So one big part of what makes action look good is having a dynamic camera that, swings around, cuts. Probably a bit too much, but yeah, we'll see. So you can see there the Khaled Fouch. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's I didn't have it linked to the guy's hand at this point, obviously. Yeah, I just like linked it here, pulls it out. It's just like, it's down here, and it just like teleports to his hand. It's fine. Anyway, the thing I wanted to show off was the door slam. So yeah, that looked really weird in the actual render, but I think it looks good like that. I think the problem is just it was too jarring with the camera moving and everything. You like sort of lose focus of where you're looking. But yeah, jumps over, hits the door, falls down, and then as you can see here, if you watch the sort of, oh, you can't see my cursor, but yeah, I'll just do this. If you watch this part, you can see that I just like reset the model and just like built him again from scratch. The pose, not the full model. I redid the full pose from scratch and an attempt to sort of make it look more seamless. Just had to come across and then camera cut and he lands. That's probably too big of a emotion to hide with a cut. Or it probably would have been fine if I did the shot differently. But, it doesn't look that bad with the camera the way that it is. I think a lot of this animation is just trying things out and then regretting trying things out. Nah, that's not the case. But yeah, that's something that I did a lot, was just fully reset the rig, the pose, just so that it's easier to start from the animation again. I also hand animated the camera sort of like bouncing whenever the bug's hands landed. So yeah, that's all hand done keys. And then this, of course, was animated down with our old friend Animal right here. Pulls out the sword. His eyes were also animated the same way as the Animal. So I'm tweeting here, don't tell anyone. Yeah. Another thing that doesn't really look as good in the render is not that part, a bit further back. The first bug, which is not that one, it's this one. Just ignore the big bug in front. So it goes under, and then it gets stomped. But for the stomp, I think I just reused the same first step, like the first foot location. Yeah. And the problem with that is it doesn't line up with where the bug was. So for that to look better, I would have to do like this. Which is not something that I was going to do. Or at least I could have added like a little like splash out from the side of the shoe. Also, the way that I animated the walk was sort of like off. So I rotated the character to fit. Like if I didn't rotate it, it would be like this, I think. Like if we watch the platform. Oh, it actually doesn't rotate as much. Okay, never mind with what I just said then. I don't know if this video is like worth anything, but there you go. That's how you build a set. It's not how you build a set. I didn't tell you anything about building the set. I also drew up some sketches for the scene, the animation. I think a big part of it was just I wasn't sure where to start with the environment and like that. So if we just go down and then here we have the initial concept of what the big scene would look like. You know, the guy holding the weapon. I wasn't sure if the guy should be happy or angry while stomping the bugs, and then I just went with neither. Here's the sketch of the environment. As you can see, there were going to be like trees. Then the one tunnel, but I instead went with two and added the walkway. Down here we have, you know, the bug watching the guy get distracted by the smaller bugs. There was originally going to be like a pond instead of the river it ended up being. Here we have sketch design of the bug and the character. I tried modeling hair and I didn't like the way that it was coming out, so instead replaced it with a cool hat. That's a bad hat. It was slightly better. Yeah, I like the way that this came out. I think the perspective is really weird though. Like, is this like the path? I guess the perspective isn't that weird, like if this was its own world, but if it's, you know, building off of this, then the perspective is really wrong. Just neat things to talk about. As you can see, design from the very beginning needed shoes. Because who would want to stomp on bugs without shoes on? Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything now. Actually, I guess I could talk about the sounds and the music. Yeah, sure, I'll talk about the music as well. Alright, here we have the music. You can see what I do is FL Studio has the, not that, this video player, so you can sync it up. The music went through a few different iterations. I originally had a bit of a... I wanted this part to be like a recurring theme, you know, the wah wah. So whenever a bug would show up, I play that at different pitches depending on how big the bug was, but that didn't sound good at all. I think that was originally going to be like the staccato. Yeah, that was going to be like this. A bit different than that, but that also didn't really like sound good. I don't know anything about music theory, so I just go based off of what I think sounds good. And then, of course, I listen to very bad music because I can't tell if music sounds good or not. By the way, don't do what I'm doing in this Premiere project where I just have a bunch of different videos crammed into the one thing. Doesn't look very good. You also have to scroll all the way down whenever you do that. Here we have... Yeah, this is it without the music. Classic. That sound effect is just really loud. If we have a look, begin -8, it's still that loud. So all these sound effects are from Lisa, the Painful Definitive Edition. That's like an iconic Lisa sound right there. I also, for the punch, you can see I held this frame for 2 frames. Because originally it was just 1 and it just flew by. You could not tell what's happening. So I tried to fix it a bit in post. But yeah, I think adding a lot of sounds is good. To like really like give depth to the world. You know, you got like the rustling of the cap both leaving and landing on the character's head. I don't know. Yeah. Landing and then... What's it? Oh, I see. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, 2 different sound effects for the sword puller. Because I wanted a good swing, but instead I just did this. Not really a sword sound effect, but I think it's funny. Yeah, it's just like a status effect sound effect and then glass breaking. And yeah, do a cool effect where you have a little bit of Gaussian blur and screening, and then the effect of that just makes it look a bit more like ethereal, sort of cool looking. You know, without it, it's like very like I don't know. I just thought I saw like a post about it, and I thought it was a cool effect. You know. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else I want to add, so yeah. Bye-bye.